Get him, got him. Hey, man, that right here. Turn it up. I can't hear nothing. I don't hear the microphone.
He didn't win his soul's wise, man.
Get him, got him. 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 Psychological warfare, the earth belongs to God. If you make it better than hell, God's there. Life ain't been fair, giving up is not an option. Been there and back around. You want war, show it up, I ain't backing down. Ain't no question who I stand for. Resurrected, no longer underground. Your door fails, a door of hearing, can you hear me now? Also, who you fooling now? Guns, bust, walls up, I gave you life, there ain't nothing but air between us. It's a love and lust, how to make it more angel dust. You almost made me cuss. You're not able, why? Cause you're going off that cocaine. Come against my people again, I make sure you have no rain. Blow the whistle, I use an airplane as a missile. I wipe your whole family out with no pistol. Get him, got him, 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 get him. Ready or not, here I come, then I tell you Satan's head will be bruised by the sun, not the one in the sky, the one who I lift up high. Girl, you ain't no God, one swing up from the sword of the Lord, tell the flesh goodbye. I said repent, don't you ask me why. I have my way in the world, well, hey girl, that girl is not your girlfriend. If Satan lose, then who win? I'm gonna give up all life. Who you think you been schooling? Falsehood with room, man, you been screwing my eyes and seen what you been doing. Gas into the teeth, is that your tongue you been chewing? You profane my communion. Get him, you're destined and ruin. You are cursed from all the sin you've been doing. I'm here the reason, been calling your name since the day you start teething. So these false idols are who you believe in. Get him, got him, get him, got him, get him.
Yeah, what up everybody? This your boy, King Calvin Jones Jr. I'm loved by some and hated by others. Today, we about to chop it up about the words that you be saying. Now this is actually like a warning show, you understand? So I'm gonna talk about some of them words you be talking about that get you a lot of the consequences that you be in, you know. And I'm gonna give some love. I got a couple of scriptures I'm gonna throw in here too, but you know, just want to let you know it's like a warning in here. You know, you might hear some words that you're familiar with, but I'm only gonna say these words to show you what you're not supposed to be saying. You understand? And why we as a people experience some of the penalties. Now, I want to come with a couple of scriptures to kind of back myself up too, even though this is a little explicit, because the words, I'm not going to bleep them out. You know, I'm going to get right into it. You know, it ain't going to be no bleep or nothing like that. We're going to really address this situation for what it is, you know, and it ain't going to act like it's foreign, because we need to know what we can't and cannot be doing. Okay. First scripture would be from 2 Corinthians 3:12, which says, seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech. This is where we're going to end up at by the end of this. It might start off a little deep for you, you understand, because you never really heard this for a potential area or arena of your life. But we're going to get into the gully, you understand? One of the things that was an issue for me, you know, I had a problem when I was cursing. You know, I used to cuss, or like they say cuss, People not sophisticated when they say it. They just say, man, I cuss a lot. You know what I'm saying? You don't. And people they ask me, this is what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to say some of the stuff that y'all be saying, which is funny to me because we don't know the influences when we saying it. And I can only say it because I got help from it, so I want to help somebody else, you know what I'm saying, that want to be helped. It's not going to help other people. Some of them is going to make them frustrated even more. You're going to really see the devil, but I'm going to cast it out, though. That's all right. That'll be fine and dandy, with that too. I like to cast out devils. Trust me. I specialize in it. You understand? But I want to talk about this in Ephesians 4:29, it talk about let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Now, we can take that a bunch of different ways. On tonight's subject is going to get very raw in here. You understand, on my network, because I want to see deliverance, and I don't want to keep saying this all the time, but I want to touch bases with you on tonight with some of these words. For some reason or another, we have our young brothers that call our young sisters bitches and hoes. I said it. You calling people bitches and hoes. You cannot be calling women bitches and hoes. Now, I said this is going to be a little deep because these are words that you don't want to identify your son and daughter by. You don't want to be calling people bitches and hoes and lame ass niggas and stuff like that. These are bad words. You understand? Lame was in the Bible. Ass was the donkey. See how the devil will convert stuff and have people saying stuff in all kind of different ways. You don't want to say these things. You don't want to be around here calling people bitches and hoes. One of the little dudes that I knew, he was like, man, Cal, you just don't do that. And actually it almost became an issue with them, for a minute, because he was like, you ain't about to cuss, is you? You just sold out not to doing that. You really solid on that. So you got some that you rooted and grounded on. And so, even though my father and them did it a lot, and I did it in my younger days, out of ignorance. But when I found out, I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to continue. Shall we continue in that way? No, I don't want to continue. I don't want to continue, talking in a mannerism. I don't want, like I said, this broadcast is going to be a little explicit, but it's not to make it explicit. I'm not saying it because I'm endorsing it to be explicit, but I'm saying it because, there are some words that I don't normally say, but I want to help people who are dealing with some things, they're dealing with, and this is a, epidemic and in neighborhoods all around the world. We have a tendency to call people bitches and hoes. I hear it, on an everyday basis. And I'm like, dude, you know where that comes from? Where you calling another person out of their name? You calling them out of their name? What are you influenced by? What are you influenced by? Why are you calling people out of their name? Why are you talking really out of context? Why are you calling people this, that, and the other? Why are you letting the devil Why you let the devil, pretty much influence you? You understand? Why you let the devil call you something different? I've seen people. I remember a young girl right here in the city of Detroit. She had, her family was indulging in that. Next thing you know, I was getting a knock on the door, and they said, "What happened to her?" Her brother, actually, they had a family gathering, and then they put a post out on Finkel at the store that she was missing for all of these days. But one of the relatives had actually killed her, and she was walking around with a t-shirt that she was the baddest little bitch and this, that, and other. And I said, wow, this how you put yourself out there. You want to put yourself out there as that. God don't call you no bitch. He don't call you no hoe. He don't call you he don't call you lame asshole, none of that stuff like that people say. You understand? This has been that's a dysfunctionality. That's dysfunctional, and many people don't get that help. They don't counsel them on where this comes from. They don't counsel people and say, dude, you going through this, where you coming from? That's animosity, that's hurt, that's jealousy, that's envy. People speak that, because at the time they open themselves up because of pain, and then they also influenced by demonic activity. They got demons that have entered their mind to take over their mind. Got them saying stuff that they don't really know the history or the origin of where it came from. They don't know where it came from. They can't even tell you what year did it started. They don't even know what year they started. That's how stupid. You saying something that you know nothing about. In scripture, it say God has said, I'll send you to a place you don't know nothing. You gonna start talking. And people start talking this language that they don't know nothing about. See, if you know this culture, then you don't know the other culture. See, if you African American, then you know how to talk one way and you don't know how to talk the other way. So God say he will send you into a land where you will start serving other gods you had not known. So what are these words you start saying? See, most people didn't know how to say the words that they saying today. They didn't know how to say that. If you go into the African culture, they don't tell you that this is what we teach. We teach that our people are, they teach them something else. They teach them that you kings and queens and stuff like that. They don't teach them that they lame and they bitches and hoes and stuff like that. That comes from demonic influences. That's demonic influences. That's from low estate, low conscious people. Influence, those are demons. And anytime you go to a place, Jesus even said, these things don't come out by fasting and prayer. See, the disciples couldn't even cast some of these things out, and what I mean is the demonic demons that make you say what you say out of frustration. They talk through people. Them demons is talking to make you talk. You understand? That's in your thought because you're not praying. So now you get frustrated. You start saying all of these words. You start saying everything in the book. I'm not going, in this show, I'm not going to go through every last word, but you can kind of get where I'm going to. I ain't going to do a whole segment on every little word that the enemy say, because I'm not going to make it like that. I ain't going to put it that deep at this particular moment. But my point is, we're going to start from one level and move on up. You understand? Until we cover every demonic devil, every has tricked people. This is how people have been deceived. They were going around calling people, instead of kings and queens, they were like, you bitch asshole, and all of this stuff like this, and saying all these other words. And you thinking like, man, why you calling a person a bitch asshole? That's three different things. You understand? But that's because they dealing with demons in them, calling them 3 different things. You like, you